the recent passing of Rishi Sunak's Rwanda Bill has caused migrants, apparently, to flee to Ireland so they don't get deported to the African nation.
More than 80% of recent asylum seekers have crossed the border from the UK, and Ireland's Foreign Secretary says he's concerned about the impact this will have.
Whilst on UK soil, the Home Secretary James Cleverly has said a succession of initial flights to Rwanda have been booked and that the £1.8 million cost per asylum seeker was justified. 1.8 million, is that right?
Per asylum seeker?
I think it's more like 180k.
Well, it costs a lot of money. The whole scheme,
the whole scheme's
upwards of
millions,
half a billion, could get higher. Well, GB News' political correspondent Katherine Forster joins us now. Katherine, I mentioned earlier about Ireland saying it's flooded with migrants. I want to apologise for that because I'm not quite sure that that was the wording that was used. So can you just clarify? Migrants, we understand, are heading for Ireland.
Yes, that's right. This was a comment by Michael Martin, the Deputy Irish Prime Minister, earlier in the week, in which he said basically that 80% of migrants arriving, asylum seekers arriving now in Ireland, have come from the United Kingdom. They've come across the border with Northern Ireland because, of course, there is no hard border. That was a condition of the Brexit deal. To maintain that, we now have effectively a border down the Irish Sea instead. But what it means, of course, is that people crossing the Channel illegally on small boats who are fearful of being sent to Rwanda now can get back into the European Union this way. Now, of course, this is very bad news for Ireland. He has said that the Rwanda deal, which, of course, was finally passed by Parliament in the very early hours of Tuesday morning and gained royal assent just yesterday, is already impacting on Ireland because, he says, people are fearful of staying in the UK for fear of being sent to Rwanda. Now, of course, the point of the Rwanda Bill and the government's promises to get flights finally in the air to Rwanda in the next 10 to 12 weeks, so potentially by the middle of July, is to stop people crossing the Channel in the first place, to make them think, hang on, if I'm going to be sent to Africa on a one-way ticket, I'd be better off staying in France or Germany or Italy or one of the many countries that they will have crossed to get to the English Channel. That is the point of it. But this is good news for the government, frankly, and it does appear to already be having a deterrent effect, although we've previously heard from migrants on the French side of the Channel who basically took the whole thing with a pinch of salt. But that might be about to change because the Prime Minister has said they intend to have a regular drumbeat of flights to Rwanda going throughout the summer. Now, if they start to get significant numbers off to Africa, as they have promised for 2 years now, 2 years since this plan was first announced by the then Prime Minister Boris Johnson, they really, really hope that numbers will start to drop significantly. Of course, as James Cleverly, the Home Secretary, said yesterday, it's only one aspect of how the government is trying to tackle illegal migration. We've all been very fixated on it because, of course, Rishi Sunak has promised to stop the boats, but at the moment those numbers are still going up.
All right, Katherine, thanks very much for that. Very much appreciated. The figure is 1.8 million. If the UK sends 300 people to Rwanda, it will end up costing 541 million, which works out 1.8 million per asylum seeker.